Hey everybody, this is me Anggun, and now you are listening to the Out Podcast. This podcast to show a way out or a solution for people who are feeling left out or lost. Today we are talking about anxiety and overthinking at our quarter life crisis with our special guest Anandra, who is going through a quarter life crisis in her 20s, who is also the same as me. We will discuss everything there is to know about what exactly quarter life crisis is from our point of view as 20s. So, thanks for joining us, Anandra.
Yeah, thank you, Anggun, for having me.
Okay, so Anandra, as you know, we are currently in the quarter life crisis, right?
Definitely. I feel very related to our topic today because right now I'm in that phase myself.
Okay, I know, right? So, what do you think about the quarter life crisis?
The quarter life crisis, from my point of view, is the period when a person aged 18 until 30 years feels hopeless, worried, and confused about the uncertainty of her future life regarding career, finance, and also social life. The emergence of the quarter-life crisis was caused by the influence of the surrounding environment, which then pushed us to constantly think about things in life, so that anxiety and depression arose.
Wow, that's true. It's like I study in the right major, have not I? Will I get a job later or not? And other things like that make me worry. Sometimes what makes us anxious and worried is because of our environment, and usually we will experience excessive worry, depression, and even frustration because we feel trapped in fear of future.
Yeah, that's why I feel related to my current life. I often question the life I'm living now as if what I'm experiencing is wrong. Sometimes we don't want to bother, but because we see the environment around us, we see other people developing while we are still stuck here and there. This is what makes us feel worried about the life that we live right now.
Honestly, sometimes when people ask, where did you go to college? When did you graduate? Where did you work? And when did you get married? And many other things that make us feel uncomfortable about it. Because sometimes, at the same time, we feel overthinking and afraid to respond. Who asks that? What do you think we should do so that we can minimize the feeling of anxiety and overthinking?
Actually, to minimize it, we must focus on ourselves. We must have a goal so that we don't doubt our goal because everything needs a process. Everyone's path is different. We have to understand this, and we can't keep focusing on the people around us. We must have the desire to develop and improve ourselves to be better, of course.
That's really true. Everyone has a different way, but sometimes we still like to compare ourselves with others without us realizing it. We are depressed about our environment, feel lost, unhappy with what we are living, and overthinking.
Well, I think one of the factors that we have to improve here is our environment because a toxic environment will produce toxic thought too. When we feel insecure, we also tend to like to do things that will hurt ourselves. We must have the desire to get out of our comfort zone and we have to be willing to adapt to new environment so that it will force us to develop too.
Talking about comfort zone, in your opinion, what kind of comfort zone make it difficult for us to develop?
So, comfort zone that we go through every day, of course. For example, we are used to online learning from house, right? So, we have to get used to such an atmosphere, which is very inversely proportional to offline lectures, where we have to go to campus, face-to-face lectures, and meet many people. Now, that change is called the comfort zone when we are comfortable with a habit but suddenly change due to the circumstance.
Yes, I feel the change because of the pandemic. I, who usually studied online for the last 2 years, have become accustomed to this habit. We don't need to go to the campus, and all activities can be done from home. And now we have to force ourselves back to be able to adapt to the situation because offline class have started again. Of course, it's not an easy thing, right?
Yes, that's right. So we must be forced by the situation until we get used to the situation.
So, what do you think about how to overcome the life crisis that we are currently facing? Because it's not easy to accept the situation, right?
Yes, that's right. So in my opinion, first is we have to accept. That means we must be able to accept ourselves. For example, by doing positive affirmation. And the second is do not compare yourself. It means do not compare yourself with others because everyone has a different path. Third is abstain from negative impact because avoid association that are not good for you. Fourth is gratitude. That means being grateful for what we already have is the key. And the last is life in the present. Don't forget to remind yourself to live in the present. What happened in the past cannot be changed, but what is in the future can depend on what we do today.
Wow, I totally agree with what you said. The first thing we have to do is accept ourselves, of course, because if not us, who else would do that? One way is really true, namely with positive affirmations. By always saying nice things to ourselves, our subconscious will indirectly do what we say. As simple as saying, I can do this, I can fix this.
Yes, as simple as said like that. By starting small thing like that, it means we have saved our life from anxiety and overthinking and ended up stress.
Definitely. So, for those of us who are in the phase of quarter life crisis, we can do some of tips mentioned by Anandra. Because by doing these simple things, we can save ourselves from feeling anxious, hopeless, and overthinking what the future will be like we go through.
Yes, because not everything we worry about will happen. In fact, if we always underestimate ourselves indirectly, our subconscious will also do the same. So let's start doing positive affirmation so that we are even more positive because the universe will also support us too.
Yeah, that's totally true, Anandra. Okay, I think our discussion about anxiety and overthinking during quarter life crisis ends here first. The main point, I get it, we have to love ourselves, accept the situation, and always be grateful. And lastly, don't compare ourselves with others because we have another way to be successful. And I would like to say thank you to Anandra that wants to discuss about anxiety and overthinking during our quarter life crisis today.
Yes, my pleasure. I hope we can survive in our condition and don't forget to always love yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for everyone who listening to this podcast and goodbye.